I've been wearing this for a few weeks now at night to stretch out my right hand. And it works, but it's quite clunky, it's a little cumbersome to wear. So I want to make it better. Now, in order to explain where I'm going with it, we need to step back a few years. So have a seat. It's story time with Papa Corn. A few years ago, I got ambitious. I wanted to create some sort of a device that I could wear that would create this level of dexterity in the form of a glove or whatever you want to call it in my right hand. And I created a bunch of iterations. And I quit because I couldn't do it. Who would have guessed? Apparently these multi-million-dollar robotic companies struggle to do it, so to be able to do it in this humble abode of mine, but what can I say? However, where I did end up was this, and it's basically two little finger loops and what I can best describe as bendy little popsicle sticks. And the way it works is essentially like a spring springs my fingers back up. So not this level of dexterity, but what it does do is straighten out my hand. Why I didn't think to do this the first time around, I don't know, but then this video wouldn't exist. Anyways. What I'm doing here is just simply drawing out my hand so that way I can make a pattern on top of it. So the way I want this thing to work is that it's going to essentially come around like this, square it out, and then that's gonna wrap around like this. So I need this to go around like that. A little hole for the thumb, there. And then we'll put some Velcro, which is gonna strap onto here. Trim that out. Wrap that around. Well, it works, but I'm not blown away with it. So I started over from the beginning and made a new pattern. Fairly similar. Fits over top there. But what I have done is added in a little flap on the right hand side here so that will wrap around. So what's happening is that you see how loose it is there? That's not gonna work too well. Let me see. So if I do it like that and then that kind of comes in. Ooh, maybe what I have to do, see how it wraps around? I have to get the strap around so it comes around on the inside of the palm and then actually attaches here. And then oh, okay, I see, right. And then this one is gonna go and strap around here like this. So it's kind of like an X pattern. One strap will go like this, the other one like that. So that'll hold that nicely there. And then here. Oh. Now that I had an idea of how I wanted to make it, I redrew the pattern with some slight tweaks. First, I extended it a little bit at the bottom here. And instead of making an X pattern, I think what I'm going to do is this piece here is going to wrap around, a little bit of elastic, and that's going to sew to the bottom there. And then this piece is going to wrap around. I'm going to have elastic here. It's going to wrap around like this, wrap around again, and then finally to some Velcro at the bottom there. I'm going to attempt to use this fabric again. But don't worry, I did my research, and what I learned is that this is what is known as neoprene fabric. And this is the same stuff that's used to make scuba suits. I also learned the art of sewing this type of fabric, so no blowing up like I did last time. First off, what I should have been using is this polyester thread, which is much stronger than that cotton I've been using up until this point. And combine that with the fact, and this is more of just a general sewing thing that I learned, Apparently, at most, this needle down here is supposed to be used for 6 to 8 hours of sewing. This one website even said that I should be changing it every project I sew. See, what happens is that the needle gets damaged with use, and then that in turn damages the fabric. It's a problem I've been having, but didn't know why. My mind was blown, because I've changed this once during the entirety of all my sewing videos. I have so much to learn. This neoprene is actually much stretchier than my paper. Who would have guessed? So I think I can actually just sew this on right here, directly like that, on the edge. Uh-oh, something's going wrong. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Look at that. So out with the seam ripper, my trusty and constant friend. Let me try that one more time. I'm gonna go a little further up. Ah! Again! But then I realized it didn't have to be that difficult. I cut out a new, slightly adjusted pattern. This piece is considerably longer now. Something feels off. Is that? Yeah, it's sewing. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not right. Something is up with my machine. Yeah, something's up. What's going on? Why is it not? Sewing machine, why you do this to me? Oh boy. Yep, turns out I'm the problem. I threaded my sheet. I can't speak today. Turns out I threaded my machine improperly. Gotta stop blaming my equipment. There we go. Trim out that excess. I'm just gonna sew on the whole band, and then I can determine the length later. All right, look at that. My hand goes in like this. And then finally, it's going to go over top like that with the Velcro. For the next step, I needed some of that bendy metal material. So yesterday, I headed over to my local shopping plaza, where the big sign doesn't necessarily indicate what store it is, and the hardware store is right next to the food court, and just a stone's throw from the dentist office. Anyways, headed in, found the metal section, got myself this nice sheet of aluminum, popped into the Toronto Tool Library and got myself some cutting shears. Now on with the project. I'm realizing that I probably just make it exactly this width, but then I go 7 inches. And I just make sure I get this nice and straight and even. Just cut off the corners so I'm not hurting myself. This file I do own. And I'm going to just smooth out the edges a little bit so that I'm not cutting myself. Let's see if I can hold this here. Just roughly make a couple marks on either side along the top. That's the little pocket piece. Let me check to make sure that this actually slides in. Oh, like a glove. First, let me just make a couple markings. This one's going to be angled. For this front piece though, rather than sewing on some more fabric, I'm putting on the Velcro, which is going to play double duty. It both holds the metal strip, but also is the enclosure. Yeah? The other side of the Velcro, the soft stuff, which I'm putting on the strap so that way if it touches my fingers, it's not all hard and coarse. I'm adding a little bit of extra so that way if I ever need to loosen or tighten it, just a little additional fabric for some extra softness over top of my knuckles. That is a pressure point after all. Notice how right here it's really pushing up. I'm gonna put a strap across. Pretty straightforward stuff. I just sewed on some of that elastic along with some Velcro and done. There we go. Strap wraps around to there. Goes over the edge there like that and then holds it down. Yeah? Get this thing on. Wrap around the fingers. Oh, Jesus. Okay, there we go. Notice how I also don't have a right chest muscle. It's another one of the results of the injury. No right muscle. Notice how much skinnier the right arm is than the left arm. That's what happens though, right? Now that I'm 30 though, I finally have some nipple noodles. Night night. Okay, so I gotta go turn off the light now, but then night night, and I'll see you in the morning. One good thing, one not so good thing. The metal's slipping out, but I think I can fix that. The good thing, considerably more comfortable.